So I made some changes to my Mage Necromancer, which gave it more damage and survivability. Then I spent most of the day pushing the pit, and I was able to clear up to tier 130, and that's with no Holy Bolt Elixir. With a few minor tweaks, this build could easily push probably pit 140. As it is right now, this build can speedrun tier 100s in just a couple minutes. We will cover everything, and timestamps will be down below, so feel free to jump ahead at any time. There will be a link to the full pit 130 clear in the description if you want to check that out. And the last 5 minutes of the video will be the last 5 minutes of the pit 130 clear if you want to check that out. In my opinion, this is the best overall setup for a pure mage build. The only way it could be better is by having better rolls on your gear. Anyways, let's get right into it. For the skills, starting up top, we use Blight. The reason that we use this, you can see right there, you and your minions deal 20% multiplicative increased damage to enemies within Blight. I mean, this is a huge damage boost for our minions, so we use that. We use Blood Mist. This is our get out of jail free card. Basically immune, and we can get out of sticky situations with this. We use Corpse Tendrils. This groups enemies, slows them down, and makes them vulnerable. It's our only source of vulnerable, so we cast this pretty often. We use Decrepify. This is going to lower our cooldowns like crazy. It also makes it to where the enemies do less damage, slows them. This paired up with the Aphotic Aspect like supercharges our cooldowns, like they just drop immediately, especially in the higher tier pits. We use Army of the Dead. The main reason that we actually use it is because of the Unyielding Commander aspect. We get 150% damage multiplier, which is massive for the build. And then we use Raised Skeleton. We're constantly spamming this. And the reason we use this is to obviously raise skeletons if they die. The other reason that we use it is to boost the minions' damage and also boost our damage and to heal the minions. So we are constantly, using raised skeleton. All right, as for the gear and aspects, really quickly, I'll let you, don't forget to cap off your resistances. Let you look at my stats if you want to see those. Okay. Anyway, so we'll go into the helm. Now, one of the main changes that we made, before we were actually using the Hardened Bones aspect right here on the helmet. Now we switched over to the Aphotic aspect, which is just boosting our damage a ton because especially in the pits and the higher tiers of the pits, we're able to just spam our Army of the Dead just over and over and over. And it's boosting our damage because of this aspect right up here, giving us 150% multiplier. So in turn, just having this aspect, because it's actually bugged and, along with the Decrepify, it's just lowering our cooldowns like crazy. So this is one of the main changes that we put to the build, the Aphotic aspect over the Hardened Bones. Now, we do lose 25% damage reduction. At the same time, we have a ton of life with this build. I made changes in the skill tree. We have even more life. You see right now I have 44k. And then if I pop both my elixirs, we jump up to 64k. So, we just have a ton of life already. And then we use Tyrael's Might, which we'll get into in a second. We have damage reduction right here, maximum resistances. So that's the main change, guys, up in the helmet. Obviously on the helmet, you want intelligence, maximum life, cooldown, get total armor, Decrepify size. You want to get 100% on your Corpse Tendril size, and then having Decrepify size is decent also. So I would say definitely get some percent to that. Now you can put the Shaco on, like if you're not doing hard content or, even like pit 100 or a little bit above, you can just wear the Shaco. I mean, your cooldowns are fine. You walk right through all that content anyways. And you get a lot of survivability by using this. I mean, we jump up almost to 67k life, as you can see, and then we get 20% damage reduction. All stats just really good. But this is the main change. This is going to be the helmet that we use to push the pits at those higher tiers or the more difficult content, just resetting our cooldowns like crazy. Like we talked about, we use Tyrael's Might for the chest right here. It's awesome. All stats, maximum resistances. That gives us a ton of survivability. We have like 77.3 to all of our resistances. It gives us all res and then damage reduction, which I hit 3 times on the masterwork. So I got 22% damage reduction. And then, while at full life, your skills unleash a Divine Barrage. With the new patch, it does a little bit more damage. Not really noticeable, but yeah, looks cool anyways. Into the gloves, right here you want to get intelligence, attack speed, and Skeletal Mage Mastery. Really important on your gloves and your pants, you can get Skeletal Mage Mastery. This is where we get heaps and heaps of damage for our mages. I could have this up to 7. Now, this is one of the ways that we could push even further in the pits. If I could get these triple hit on the masterworking to rank 7 on both those, that's 4 more ranks for our mages. That's a huge damage multiplier for the mages right there alone. So, make sure to get your attack speed on the gloves definitely too. And then you can see right there I have summoning skill damage. You want to go with mage damage. That's just what I ended up with. And then on the gloves, you could also get like Well, the curse duration is kind of nice, but you could get the crepify size or the corpse tendril size to hit your 100% on those. But definitely on the gloves, I would change over to the mage damage. You're going to get a little bit more out of that. Now, when it comes to the attack speed on the gloves, on our gear and the 10% that we have in the Paragon board, we want to hit the 100% cap to make it to where the cult leader board is giving us our maximum damage. You'll see when we get into the Paragon board with the cult leader node, we get damage for every 20% of attack speed. I think we get like 30% multiplicative damage to our minions, so it's massive. So you definitely want to get 90% attack speed, which we'll go over the other gear pieces in a minute, on your gear. Really important, so you're hitting that 100%. That is another change that I made now. Before, to hit the 100%, I was using a elixir along with a life elixir. Now I can use 2 life elixirs and I get the 100% on my gear, so I have more survivability. And then right here you want to have the aspect of frenzied dead. Right there, it's going to give us a ton of attack speed when our minions are attacking, which is constantly. That's going to make it to where we hit that 100% cap. You want to get the blood getters aspect right here. Your skeletal priest now also empower you at 70% effectiveness. Now here's the thing, you could put the aphotic aspect on the pants and completely get rid of the blood getters aspect, but you would be losing a lot of damage by doing that. I would not recommend that. In the higher tier pits, it's all about damage. We have plenty of survivability. If you want to push further, you need damage, because those bosses have a lot of life, and at pit 130 it was even kind of difficult with the setup that I have right now. Definitely want to get the blood getters right here, and then intelligence, life, skeletal mage mastery, definitely want to have that on your pants. Total armor, don't worry about the Iron Maiden size, that's bricked, unfortunately. Down into the boots right here, life, movement speed, which is key at all times in the pits and everywhere. You got to have movement speed. You're going to want to get a total armor roll somewhere. I got it on the boots right here. And then, for your tempering, get movement speed right there. And then I have 68% corpse tendril size. And then for your aspect, you want the occult dominion aspect. You get 2 more mages and warriors. Obviously, that's a lot of damage. You want to get that. The most important temper and the most important stat on the entire build is the chance for skeletal mage attacks to cast twice. You want to get this as high as possible. You can see that I hit this 3 times on all 3 masterworks. I got lucky with that, which is great, because you definitely want to try to do that. I'm even still missing 10%. I could have it up to 99%, but I'll settle with 90. You want to go with intelligence, maximum life, critical strike damage, summoning damage. Now you see again, I have the summoning damage for the tempering. Right there, you want to go with mage damage. Every spot that I have summoning damage, I am losing out on a little bit of damage right there. So that's another way that you could push higher into the pits if you had, that mage damage. Because I do have that summoning damage in a few spots, and if I had the mage damage, those little bits would add up. So definitely want to have the actual mage damage right there. And then for the aspect on this, we want to go with the blighted aspect, 240% multiplier. This is the biggest multiplier that we can get. Definitely want to have that. It's like one of the main functions of the build. You do want to go with the two-handed scythe. This is more base damage. Now you could go with a two-handed sword. You will get the implicit of critical strike damage. I would say go with the scythe, though. It's going to be more damage for your minions. Really quickly, guys, you want to get the critical strike chance right here in your weapon. Get the rubies for maximum life over here, and then cap off your resistances on this side. Now into the amulet, you can see right here we have attack speed. That is one thing that I changed. I had movement speed right there. I put that 12.3% attack speed. We're just a little bit over the 100% cap with the 10% in the Paragon board. So you want to get ranks to Hellbent Commander. Now this is another way that you could push to like 140 with this build. You can see right there I have 4 ranks to Hellbent Commander. I don't even have the greater affix. If I had the greater affix, that'd be at 5, and it could still even level up 2 more ranks than that, so we could be at 7. So if we had rank 7 right there, and then 7 right here for our mages, and the skeleton mage damage on the pieces where I have summoning damage, this build could be even doing more damage, like just whopping amounts of damage. So definitely could push to like hit 140, I would say, maybe even further. I don't know. On here, it's really important. You want to have the unyielding commanders aspect. You can see right there, while Army of the Dead is active, your minions get 150% multiplier. Even though it's a plus, that should be an X. It is 150% multiplier. Tons of damage for the minions. Get the ranks to Hellbent Commander, attack speed, and then whatever else you can get on there. Life, crit chance, whatever. And then for the temperings, get ultimate cooldown reduction. And then I have damage to distant. Unfortunately, you want to get mage damage right there as well. Right here into our first ring, we're going to go with the aspect of reanimation. Your minions gain a 40% multiplier after being alive for 10 seconds. Our mages are always alive, so We're getting that nice boost to damage. Get life, attack speed, crit chance, just like I have right there. You want to get your crit chance up to capped or close to it. And then obviously we need the attack speed. And then for the temperings, ultimate cooldown and mage damage. Once again, I have summoning, unfortunately, so we're missing out on a little bit of damage right there. Into the second ring, you're going to want the aspect of grasping veins. Yes, I am aware that the aspect doesn't work 100% for our minions, meaning they don't get the 50% multiplier, but they do get the 25% base crit chance, because we get that and then they inherit that. So really important to have the aspect of grasping veins right there. And the same on this ring: maximum life, attack speed, crit chance, ultimate cooldown, and then skeletal mage damage, which I actually have on that one. Alright guys, into the Book of the Dead. Right here we're going to go with the Reapers. Reapers have a 15% chance to carve the flesh off enemies, forming a corpse. We want to have as many corpses as possible around us at all times. And then if you don't already know, the Reapers are bugged. They get, both of these. So, we're also getting cooldown from the Reapers on top of the aphotic aspect, and then on top of the Decrepify giving us cooldown. Next we'll go into the mages. Obviously we're going to take the Shadow Mages. They're the bread and butter of the build. Right here we're going to go with Shadow Mages, fire an additional Shadow Bolt every 3 attacks. And then down here, so with the recent patch, this we're going to sacrifice the Golem, and we get a 35% multiplier to critical strike damage. And before that was 30%, so we got a nice little 5% boost right there. Alright, we will briefly go over the skill tree. Up top, just take whatever. We're not going to use that. Right here in the core skills, now we do take Blight and run that back to Supernatural for the nice multiplier to our minions. We're going to get 3 into Hewed Flesh, so we're just creating corpses all over the place. We're going to take Blood Mist, run that back to Ghastly for even more corpses. Right here, we're going to take Grim Harvest. We actually want to get 3 points into that because we do spam our curse quite a bit and we can run out of juice, so definitely get 3 right there. And then we're going to get 3 into Fueled by Death, 9% multiplier after consuming a corpse, which we're constantly consuming corpses. Down here into our curse skills. Right here we're going to go with Death's Embrace, Death's Approach, movement speed, definitely want that. 3 into Amplify Damage, 12% multiplier. We're going to take Decrepify, run that back to Aberrant. You can see right there, enemies hit while affected by Decrepify have 15% chance to reduce your active cooldowns by 1 second. And then obviously, Decrepify slows enemies, makes them do less damage, just, awesome overall. 3 into Skeletal Mage plus the 10 ranks that we have on gear. So we're at 13. This could be sitting at 17, which would be awesome. Right here into the Corpse and Macabre skills. We're going to go into Corpse Tendrils, run it back to Plagued for the vulnerable. 1 into Reaper's Pursuit so we can get back to Gloom and Terror. You want to get 3 points into each of those. Over here into Necrotic Carapace, you want to get 3 points into this. Really important to have those 3 points into it. You want to be getting as much Fortify as you can, especially in the higher tier pits. If you get hit, you want to be getting that Fortify back as quickly as possible. If you only have 1 point in there, that's not really doing you much good. You want to have Fortify up at all times. That's 15% now damage reduction. So 3 points into there. Down to the ultimate skill, Army of the Dead. Run it back to Supreme. 3 into Inspiring Leader while healthy. You gain 12% increased critical strike chance and your minions get 18, but really your minions get 30 because they're double dipping. They get your stats also. And then 3 into Hellbent Commander. And then we have 4 ranks on our amulet. 105% multiplier. You always want to try to stay close to your mages. Give them that boost. Then obviously down here in the key passive, we want to take Shadow Blight. This is to proc our Blighted Aspect. Alright guys, now we will jump into the Paragon board really quickly. Don't forget to get your glyphs all leveled up to 15 at least for the radius. Go to 21, obviously, for more damage, and it's easy to do now. There will be a link to this build down in the description over on Mobalytics if you want to check it out that way. And also guys, I did, a couple of the other changes that I made in the Paragon board. I will cover everything, but really quickly, I switched this board out with this board so that we're actually getting more life over here. We're getting like another 8% life compared to the old Paragon board, and it's just helping our survivability. Starting off in the first board though, right here, Prime, we're going to take that for damage and life. Resilience, right here we're going to put Amplify. Obviously enemies affected by curse skills, it's a 10% multiplier. Grab Preservation and Knowledge. The next board we're going to come into is the Cult Leader board. Really important, you want to hit that 100% cap. You see right there, your minions deal 30% multiplicative increased damage for each 20%. So, that's giving us a huge boost, like a, 150%, I think, in total. Down here, you want to get Custody and Overlord. Throw in Dead Razor Glyph right here. You're going to get damage reduction for your minions and summoning skill damage. We're going to take Puppeteer. Now, there's attack speed right here, And over here, or I'm sorry, right here, and right here, that's 10%, along with at least 90 on your gear to hit that 100% cap. Infused caster, right here, skeletal mage damage and resistance for your mages. Up here, we're going to take the flesh eater board. Now, we're constantly spamming raised skeleton to proc this for a 40% multiplier. This is huge. Want to get targeted for damage to elites and crowd control damage. Erudite for maximum resistances. And then right here, we're going to put the control glyph for a 20% multiplier against crowd controlled enemies. And this is against bosses when they're staggered. Right here, we're going to take the Scent of Death board. You know, you want to get Scent of Death, 2 corpses nearby, you get 15% damage reduction. With none, 15% multiplier. So it's good either way. I'm going to throw Abyssal in here. We're just going to meet the requirements. So we get 10% multiplier to our mages. Grab all this around here. We're going to take Shadow Resilience right here. We get Shadow Resistance and Maximum Life. The next board that we're going to come into is the Bone Graft board. Over here, we're going to get Essence for critical strike damage. The main reason we take this, though, is for the additional bonus. You get a 22% multiplier against enemies that are not healthy, and that's massive, especially in the pits. That's a huge multiplier. And once they drop below that 80% threshold, you can definitely see this kicking in. Obviously, over here, come over for Tenacity and Armor, more maximum life. Next board is Bloodbath. We're going to want to take Thick Hide right here for more life and damage while fortified. Throw in Exploit for vulnerable damage, and then also a multiplier to vulnerable enemies. Hardened. And then the final board will be the Hulking Monstrosity board. And over here, we're going to throw in the Mage Glyph. And we try to get as much intelligence as possible so we can pull out as much damage with our mages as we can. And we get Mutation and Miscreation right here. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. There will be the last 5 minutes of the tier 130 pit right now after this if you want to check that out. Hopefully this guide has been helpful, and if it has, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below if you have any questions. Let me know. I'll get back to you. Anyways, thanks for watching.
I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I need more time. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I need more time. I need more time. I'm not ready yet. I need more time. I'm not ready yet. I need more time. I'm not ready yet. I need more time. I need more time. I need more time. ready yet. I need more time. I need more time. I'm not ready yet. I need more essence. I'm not ready yet. I need more time. I'm not ready yet. I need more time. I need more time. I need more time. I'm not ready yet. I need more time. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet.